The Beach by Alex Garland. So I saw the movie like 2 or 3 times, and I said, maybe there's a book based upon it, and of course there is. And I don't know if I should recommend this one. It's about personal taste, because for some people this book might be a bit of a drag, almost, because a lot of times nothing really happens. The people go to the beach. They have a good time. They gather supplies. All is well. Then something happens. They react. Then they're not so great. And then they go back to being happy. And then they gather supplies. Then they have fun on the beach. Then something happens. And then they react. And then things are not so great anymore. And then the drug traffickers come along and, that ends their little fun. And they essentially leave the beach, and that's that for the most part, right? And for a decent amount of people, that might seem a bit dull, and it is. But I have to say, the movie as well as the book, they have an ounce of magic in it. Just an ounce of magic that just, I saw the movie and something captivated me, but it's not about the beach. And I have to say, what intrigued me the most about this and the movie is the main character. Of course, he stands out. The rest of the people in this are kind of, I don't know, they're insignificant, I would say. But what pissed me off about this is, so the main character, he's a guy that likes to travel, and he goes to this shitty hotel, right? And stuff happens, blah blah blah, and then he meets another guy that's in the room next to his, and they have like 2 lines of dialogue, maybe three, and that guy tells him about the beach, and he says good night, and the next day the guy that he talked to committed suicide, right? And we don't really find out why that is. So our guy goes to the beach, and from that point on, he keeps having visions of the guy that committed suicide, the stranger with which he shared like 2 lines of dialogue. And throughout the book, he just keeps having these visions of this guy, and I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. It's not really explained why, and then they just disappear, just like that. Once he's off the island, that's it. No more visions. And that's pretty much what I have to say about this book. It was a bit of a disappointment, you know. I thought they were going to the beach and crazy shit was gonna happen. But that's the whole crux of the book. These people, they're on the beach, they're having a good time. It's paradise, you know. They're like in the Garden of Eden. Then something happens, something bad happens, and they're like upset because their perfect world is shattered. But then it resets after a while, and they go back to being happy. And then another thing happens, and they're sad again. And it after a while it resets again until, of course, the climax when we find out that uh, drug traffickers are cultivating a pot on the other side of the island, and they have this little understanding that you stay on your side, we'll stay on our side, and it's fine. But they break that agreement, and then you know there are consequences, and they have to leave the beach, or they will get the little bullet in the head, right? So I don't know if I should recommend this one, because it can be a downer, but for all the wrong reasons. I expected more of this book. I watched the movie and I said, okay, the book has to be better in some ways, and not really, maybe. In some areas it might be better, but I couldn't recommend this to anyone because, my god, it's a slow, slow read. when you're on the beach and the sharks come and they harm your friend and you're just gonna pretend like nothing happened while that person suffers, you know? That's pretty fucked up. But anyway, that's the beach. Keep on reading, and maybe you'll find a book that you like. Why not?